Let me know when you see the screen, please.
بينت السكرين.
Okay. So as we mentioned last time, we will start from now by the project. Okay, and the deadline for submission is at the end of this month. Okay, so from now to, or if you want, just for the first week of March, you should be done. Okay, so here I will propose some topics for the project, and I will tell you what are the main content that should be in the project. Okay, and I am open to any topic you want. So just you can, many of your friends send me emails to ask if it's possible to take different topics. So it's fine. You can choose what you want, but it should be related to the course material. Okay, so the course project will consist of a term paper and a presentation that should be completed. Well, I prefer groups of 2 students, and it's the best option. If some of you want to do it alone, it's fine. So for me, it's an extra for you if you can do it on your own. And in case you want to form group of 3, I told you already that it should be a very well done project, and I suppose that the work should be hard. Okay. Now, concerning topics, they should be scientific or technological and should be related to the course content. We have several, for example, here I am proposing several potential research project topics, and already on Moodle, you have seen that you have several articles on several energy topics. So also you can look at them to choose your topic, or you can propose whatever is interesting for you. So one of the possible topics, we have here 10 proposed topics. We can talk about electrochemical capacitors as a mean of energy storage in electric vehicles. So electric vehicles are in research development currently, and we are working on developing them in order to one day replace the vehicles using fuels with electric vehicles. So this will reduce a lot the consumption of fuel, and we will see in this course that fuel consumption, first, it's harmful for the environment because it leads to high productions of CO2 and greenhouse gases, which will have a bad effect on the environment. Plus, that fuels are not renewable sources, so our resources are depleting with time, and we might reach a state where we cannot use fuel anymore. This is why we should from now think on what are the engineering technologies that can replace fuel use. Now, a second possible topic is electricity storage using wind energy. Wind energy is also one of the important topics that we will cover in this course. So it's a type of renewable energy that is widely available. So
قلت لك
if you know the amount of
امبارح
energy you can extract from wind, it's very huge. So if we know how to use wind energy well,
شو الحجة؟
yes, sorry. Can you repeat, please?
طيب طرطوش
I cannot hear you well.
يلا وعيد
Sorry, but the voice is unclear. If you want anything, you can type it in the chat. Okay, because I'm not able to hear you.
شبعتك يعني.
Okay.
طيب
So guys, please, if you are talking with anyone else, mute your microphones. Okay. So the second possible topic is, as we said, electricity storage using wind energy. So as we talked about, wind energy is a renewable energy that is largely present on the planet. And if we can use a small percentage of it, we can cover a lot of needs. So we will see when we cover the wind energy chapter in numbers that wind energy available is very huge. Now, we can use wind energy for several purposes. One of them is to produce energy in the form of electricity. Okay. A third possible topic is hybrid concentrated photovoltaic and thermal power. So this is related, of course, to the second type of renewable energy, which is solar energy. And we have a lot of types of photovoltaic. We have the hybrid concentrated type is one of the most efficient one, and it's under development. So this is also a nice topic in case you want to go for it. Another possibility is coal power plants, and we will see in this course, before going to renewable energies, we will talk about fuel power plants and coal power plants and how they are used to convert energy, heat energy to mechanical energy after, or any other type of useful energy. Another possible topic is assessing the current CO2 capture and storage in power generation and industrial usage technologies. So it's true that we are trying to use more and more renewable energy and to rely on sources that are free and are not very harmful to the environment, but still the highest percentage of energy is obtained from fuel. Okay, this is why we need to try to come up with strategies to reduce CO2 emissions that have bad effect on the environment. One of these strategies is CO2 capture and storage. So we have several techniques that will capture CO2 once emitted from fuel combustion, and we will see how we can capture CO2 and store it, and sometimes you can benefit from it in a certain way. Okay, so this is topic 5. Another possible topic is battery technologies for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. So also it's related to the sector of vehicles using electrical power. Another topic is Stirling engines. So to look at the technology and future outlook for this type of engines. So we will see together in this course how we transform energy in cycles. Okay, so this is one topic about this. Another possible topic is smart grids. Okay, so it's also interesting. And the number 9, the potential for mitigation of carbon dioxide by engineered microorganisms. So also this topic is concerned with reducing CO2 emissions. Okay, because once CO2 is emitted, we can try to come up with strategies to capture it or to use it in a certain way that is useful and not harmful for the environment. And finally, another possible topic is hybrid power plants, which are the future for intermittent renewable energy sources. When we talk about hybrid power plants, so we are combining several cycles together, okay, and sometimes we are combining a renewable energy project with another project relying on fuel, for example, because sometimes, we need to provide energy in a continuous way. So renewable energy is will not always cover our needs 24 hours on 24 hours. So we might need a auxiliary supply. In this case, we can combine renewable energy projects with other projects. In this way, we will benefit from renewable energy, but we will ensure at the same time that we can maintain energy supply for the whole period of time needed. Okay, and sometimes even, for example, in electricity grids, we have the option of, in case renewable energy is more than enough, then in some countries, developed countries, what they do is that if you have excess of energy, you can sell it to the, if you want, to the government, and in this way, it will be a cycle. So if you have excess, you give it, or if you need, they will give you. So in this way, you can ensure a good performance and ensure that you can give electricity for the whole time need. So these are possible topics. Okay, so please, if you didn't, so I just received until now 2 or 3 groups. So please choose the topic in a fast way, because it's just 1 month. And I know it might be a long period, but it's better to try to start now, because this will help you to not be in short time after. Okay, especially now that you don't have a lot of load on you, it will be easier to finish the project on time. Now, concerning the content of the project, So we will write it in a form of
دكتور
it.
بس
Yeah.
sorry دكتور I didn't mean to interrupt you بس كرمال السبمشن تبع السبجكت تبع البروجكت كيف باي
Yeah.
ميل؟
Yeah, you can send it by mail. You can send me a WhatsApp as you like. It's no problem with the way.
اوكي ديل.
Feel free to send me directly by WhatsApp what
okay.
is the topic you want and what are the group members. It's fine. Okay, just I want to know which topics you choose to select, because if one topic is reserved, so we will try to have a variety of topics, because once you are done, we will do sessions of interaction. So each group will present its project, and it will be of additional information for all. This is why we will have different topics. We cannot have two groups for the same topic. Okay, this is why I want you to tell me which topic you selected, and in this way we can ensure that we don't have repetition of topics. Okay.
Okay, deal. Thank you.
Welcome. So concerning the content of the project, so you will write it in the form of a research paper. So if anyone wants to continue master's or PhD, it will be very helpful for you, because you will see how to construct a research paper. So in a research paper, always we divide it into several parts. So first you have the abstract. The abstract will summarize the project content and its main findings. Of course, maybe you will not have a complete research paper, because in research papers in general, we do calculations, we do simulations. So I don't expect this, of course, because this will require a lot of time. But what we mean by main finding, maybe you are comparing, for example, several types of power plants, for example. So you will say that this type is more effective than the other. So it can be qualitative findings, not only quantitative findings. Okay. Now, in the introduction in general, what we do is first, we do a literature review on the selected topic. Okay. So when we talk about a literature review, so we should read a lot of papers. So minimum the literature review should be more than 20 papers related to the topic. Okay. Because if you do a good literature review, you will have a good overview of the topic. And this will help you to know what was done already and what is undergoing development in this field. Okay, so this is what we mean by literature review. And in any research you do, you need to do literature review to see what is the gap. Okay, because whenever I'm doing a research work, I need to detect the gap in previous work and try to propose something new. Okay, of course, in this for this project, maybe a small contribution is enough. I don't want to, we will not invent anything extra, but at least a small contribution. So sometimes maybe you will suggest to combine, let's say, 2 cycles, and say that in this way the efficiency will increase. So in this matter, okay. And the introduction also will introduce the project and states its objective. So this is the introduction. Now, for example, in case you are taking a project with a certain economical aspect, then you can do a study with a quantitative study with numbers, and it will be interesting. Okay. So, for example, in previous projects, students used to, for example, to come up with a MATLAB code. So you will give it, for example, the information, let's say, about the prices of fuel, for example, and it will give you, if I go with a renewable project, what will be the savings. So it can be interesting. You can do new things. Okay. Now, for the body of the article, of course, will describe the different systems involved, and will propose some enhancements, or will give additional contribution to the work already done. And finally, we'll do, of course, we will conclude and we will give the recommendations. So recommendations to, for example, to enhance the performance of the system, or to reduce the energy consumption, etc. Now, concerning the figures and tables, it's fine if you don't want to follow this structure 100%. It's fine, and you can put the figures inside the project if you prefer. Maybe it's better. Okay. But it's good to mention, even if you put the figures in the report. So at the end, put a list of figures with their names and the list of tables. Okay. Now, please pay attention also for plagiarism. So pay attention to not take paragraphs as they are from literature, because you will post it on Moodle and it will be tested for plagiarism. Okay. So it should be original work. Please pay attention for this. Okay. Any question on this?
Doctor,
No,
just
Mahdi.
is
We
there
cannot have Mahdi. We cannot have several groups selecting the same project, as I mentioned previously. Okay, because as I told you, one of the most interesting parts in this course is your projects. I will learn from you, and you will learn from each other. So each group should take a different topic, and so starting from next month, so let's say we have 1 month to finalize the papers, and you will prepare a PowerPoint presentation. And starting once after 1 month, in each session we do, 1 or 2 groups will present. Okay, will present their work, and we will have interaction with them. We will ask questions. So this will help us into understanding more the material and see in more practical cases. Okay. So just you will tell me what is your project, and I will tell you if it's reserved already or not.
Okay, noted.
Okay. This is why please try within these 2 days to send me the topic you want to work on to finalize this issue. Okay. Now, in parallel with the project, we will go over the course material. Okay. So as I mentioned previously, the course material is divided in Moodle in several sections. So I will repeat in summary because some students are new to the course.
Doctor, so the bulk of the paper should be the literature يعني مش البulk هيكون literature review صح؟
No, مش
it's
البulk,
it's mainly
of
our
course.
analysis.
Yeah, look,
Okay.
even if you have systems description, literature will just look. Just if you go over Google Scholar and you put your topic, you can read papers. You will see the style of papers. In all papers, the literature review, it's like a summary of what was done. It will not go very deep in details. Okay, but then in the
Yes
body.
أكيد بس experiments إنه نحن ما
Yeah.
بنعمل experiments مع
Yes, it's right. We are not doing experiments. But for example, as I told you, if you are describing, let's say, a certain system, in the literature review, you can state what happened in the history of this. Now, in the body, you will describe in detail if you want more as engineering, as engineering point of view, the system and how it's working and what we can enhance in it. Okay. So the literature review will not go into these details. You will not put figures in the literature review. You will not explain how your system what it is doing, how it's transforming energy from one state to the other. So the body will go more into details, will go with figures, with explanation. However, the literature review will state several previous work and just will give, if you want, 1 or 2 sentences of each work and what was the contribution of each work. In this manner.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay. So if I go to Moodle, so I will repeat briefly. As I told you, you have first here the different topics that you can work on. Other than the 10 topics I proposed, you have a lot of interesting topics here. And feel free also to select a topic outside of this. So you can just tell me I'm interested in doing this. If it's related to the course, I will tell you, of course, you can do it. Okay. So now for the material delivery, okay, it's divided into several parts. So first we have, as I told you, all chapters are recorded on PowerPoint. So the PowerPoints are already posted for you. So for this week, okay, you will start with chapter 1. If you want, for each chapter, I did several possibilities. So it depends on what you like. So I prepared a recorded over PowerPoint, but I think that what is more efficient is explanation. So you have a YouTube playlist link. If you go for it, okay, I will tell you for each week what to go over which videos, okay, and anytime you have any question, you directly text me, so I'm available anytime to respond to your questions. So here, for example, I posted the first session we did last time together, and now I want from you for this week to go over the first 3 videos, and for each week I will name the videos, the corresponding videos that you should go over. So for example, here, chapter 1 is divided into 3 videos, part 1, part 2, and part 3, okay? So for this week, you will go over these 3 videos. And as I told you, anytime you face any problem or you have any question, you directly send me the question. Just you tell me, for this slide, I didn't understood, for example, this, okay? And in each session, before we start, for example, I will do live sessions with you to do problems. And whenever you have any question, also we can, during the session, the live session, I can answer the questions if you want. So you can directly send me your questions, or if you prefer to ask them live, also we can do. Okay. So now for this week, go over part 1, part 2, part 3. This is chapter 1. Okay. And also there is for each chapter on Moodle a very important section, which is the YouTube links. So here you can find for each chapter links on YouTube. These links are very helpful and interesting. So I advise you to go over these links because they will help you to understand more the material, and you will see on a practical, and you can see the system, how it's functioning in real scenario. And even if we explain a system a lot, okay, when we see it live, it's much easier to understand. Okay, so here, for example, in chapter 1, you have several links because chapter 1 is an introduction. So if you want, it's an overview of different energy systems. Okay, this is why you have a lot of YouTube videos in for this chapter. Okay, so just let me open it. Now, concerning what you should know, okay, I told you already that for the exam, you will have 2 types of questions. You will have multiple choice questions, and you will have problems questions. For problems, we will do practice together. And for information, okay, everything covered in these videos, you are supposed to understand it and to know it, okay? So I don't want you to remember by heart anything, and I will not ask in the exam for dates or for something in tiny details, okay? But I want you to understand the concept. So for each chapter, if you go, let's say if you go over the video, let's say 1-2 times, and then you go over the slides, and in case you forgot the explanations, the PowerPoint are recorded. So for each slide, you can go again for the explanation. This will help you to understand the concepts, okay? And you are just responsible of understanding the material. I will ask questions to test the concept, not very small details. And of course, I will not ask history questions or dates or something like this. Okay. So, for example, here in chapter 1, it's an introduction of energy. Okay, it will introduce several systems of energy and how energy can be transformed from, for example, let's say from potential energy to kinetic energy, etc. Okay, so here for each type of systems, you have YouTube links that will, in this way, you will see in live how these systems operate and how they can transform energy from one form to the other. Okay, so please, this week, go over these links, okay, and go over the 3 videos, 1, 2, 3 of chapter 1. And as I told you, feel free to text me whenever you want. Okay, just send me a voice message and I will directly reply to you. Okay, any question on this? Okay, so I will wait for your groups. okay, for the names of groups and the topics. And please start to work on the project, because now, as I told you, you don't have a high load. So in this way, you can do the majority of work now. So we can start to do project presentation after 1 month, okay? And hopefully next week, if you have any questions on chapter 1, we go over them. And we will start, we can start chapter 2. Chapter 2 is more related to, you have, if you want, it's explanation how energy is transferred from one state to the other. So we go over equations. And if anyone, the majority of you have mechanical or chemical or electrical engineering background, so it's fine. But in case anyone have problems in other courses as fluids or thermo, please feel free to ask me whatever you want. And in the course, in the videos, you will see that I will re-explain all concepts from zero. So don't worry if you have a certain weakness in certain topics. So any question for today?